Welcome to Tiki Tuesday Talks on a Thursday. We're here on a Thursday because we have an absolutely legendary crew that only Guillaume and Plantation can pull together. Let's get everybody over here. Wow. First time with 10 people, and what a posse. Scotty, where you at? What's going on?
How you doing, everybody? I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. How you doing?
What?
I'm Cowboy.
A lot of tiki in Ohio. A lot of tiki.
Yep. Shout out to Porco's.
There you go.
Yeah.
The homies, for sure. Paul McGee, what's going on? Where you at?
Nothing much. I'm in New York, about an hour north of the city.
Oh, right on. Right on. Where specifically?
In a little place called Pound Ridge in Westchester County.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Not much
Very
here.
cool. Looks very nice, very classy in that background. Not much here. Yeah. Quaint. Call it quaint.
Very quaint. Very quaint.
Yeah. Alexander, how are you, sir?
Hello, sir. Good to see everybody. It's wonderful.
So good, so good. And you're in France?
Yes, I am in Cognac. I'm at the distillery in Cognac.
Perfect. Good access to quality booze.
Yeah, and hopefully good internet as well. You know, because we are really.
You're doing great so far.
Not a bit surprised.
Aaron, you got a nice setup over there.
What's going on, everybody? How are you?
More plants than ever. Always good to see from you.
Yeah, you know, the vegetal environment of Baltimore, Maryland provides a great atmosphere for tropical weather.
Excellent, excellent. Beach Bum, we got you on. Lovely to see your face.
Happy to be anywhere, but I'm very happy to be here.
It's a good way to describe it. 2021, happy to be anywhere.
Absolutely.
Paul, where you at? What's going on?
I'm sitting here right near the home of rum in the UK, just a stone's throw from Notting Hill in West London.
Perfect. I like your cushions there. Very festive. Going well with the shirt.
Yeah, I'm loud and proud.
Dave Wondrich. How's Brooklyn? We'll come back to you. Oh.
Well, I don't know. My I've got Brooklyn backyard internet, so you can only imagine it fell off of the truck. And sometimes, it works, and sometimes it doesn't work. But right now, it's not working so great. But I am here in Brooklyn.
Cox competitor there. Comcast Cox.
What's that?
So it's a good
what was
competitor to Time Warner. Time Warner Comcast competitor. Brooklyn backyard.
Yeah, I got the bada bing Wi-Fi.
Well said, sir. Well said.
So, but yeah, I'm here in Brooklyn, and in my fortress of solitude, just watching the world go by. All very pleasant, and
well, it's great to see your face. It's great to see your face, and bear with us. We love seeing you and hearing from you.
Likewise.
Kimberly.
Hello.
Kimberly, what's up? You're in NOLA as well?
Yeah, I'm here living in the French Quarter. It's not a bad place to be stuck.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And you got a fridge behind you that's ready to supply you with beverages as needed as we get through this session.
Very true.
Guillaume, I think you're muted, but we'd love to say hi.
Hey guys, great to see everybody. I'm still in the same place I was a year ago. Surrounded by my samples, they're all starting to talk to me now. It's that bad.
Wow.
So yeah, let's have some fun, guys.
Sounds like a good live stream. Amazing. Well, Aaron and Kim, we'll see you in a little bit. Let's get this started here. So just a quick intro from my side. I'm sure you guys have known if you've seen us before. As we have here, almost everyone in this amazing posse that was behind the making of OFTD. You guys are going to learn all about it. Shout out to Martin Cade, who couldn't be here, but who we all love dearly. And just some quick intro elements, chat box and questions. If you guys are on Facebook, Zavvy, hit us with questions. We'll try and get them in as we go. There's a lot of nuggets of wisdom we want to hear from everybody here. but we'll try and filter that in. Please feel free to share the event, view the event after. It will also be on YouTube. Presentation, who the hell knows how long. Cocktail, we'll try and get to it, and we'll bring Kimberly back. So with that all said, I'm going to hand it off to Guillaume.
All right. Well,
to
thank
get
you,
into
Pete.
the presentation here.
Right. So what I did, guys, was really simple. Is just go back in time and walk down memory lane, and that was a kind of an emotional journey. But we have a lot of guys here, and yes, Martin couldn't make it, and he told me that he was going to definitely have one on us today. And he's definitely one of the brothers, and it's so good to see all the brothers reunited once again. It's not the last time, I'm sure, and there's going to be a real-time physical reunion very soon. I'm pretty certain of that. So the OFTD journey, I think it's important for everybody to really know how it all started. So it all started there. It was, and that's funny because it's almost to this day 6 years ago. And it was Cocktail on tour, Stars of the Cocktail on tour in Mexico City. And I had just 2 days ago, I had a conversation with Martin and with Paul McGee about old overproof dark rum that were used in classic recipes, and and they were a little bit frustrated because they could not always find what they wanted or the type of the aromatic profile that they were looking for those classics. And I was thinking about this. I was in my hotel room, and and I saw Jeff Berry down the street, from my hotel room. And I was like, but of course, we just got to make one together. That's the way.
First, you had to scrape me off the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So that was like the idea, but like the vision was Jeff walking down the street in Mexico City. I was like, oh, but of course, I'm talking to Martin and talking to Paul. I'm sure Jeff, has the same exact idea on the subject, so you know what, let me talk to him. So, I had the idea of like doing this basically. And then before I called everybody, I decided to really call Alexander because I almost called everybody without calling Alexander because he's the master blender and the proprietor of the brand. So, that's the right thing to do.
Every once in a while.
Alexander, I don't know, you remember that phone call? No, you do?
Absolutely. I totally remember it.
So anyways, he thought that was a good idea. So here we were, I called Martin, I think, and then Paul from my hotel room. I went down in the lobby, talked to Jeff, and 3 of them were already in. And it was basically almost no time before we were able to assemble the dream team, and that's all the guys. So this is like the deck that we had back in the days when we launched it, when we wanted to explain to people who was behind that incredible blend. Okay, but that was Dr. David Wondrich, Jeff Berry, Paul McFadyen, Martin Kate, Paul McGee, Scotty Schuder, and of course Alexandre Gabriel. This was the dream team. So now, when I did my research for the last 2 weeks, I actually found the original email that I sent to everybody. And I sent that email on May 4th, 2015, which is really creepy. Because remember, Pete, we were supposed to do that session on May 4th.
We were.
So that's kind of weird.
That is wild. Yeah.
So anyways, here's the email. Right? Dear all, I hope this email finds you well. I spoke with Alexander. He's very excited to work with you on revisiting Plantation Overproof rum because we did an overproof before. We enjoy the current Plantation Overproof, but we would like to go back to the drawing board to take overproof rum to a new level, sort of go back to the roots of overproof or tiki cocktails. We have all given it a lot of thought, but really we want to listen to you and put our heads and palates together to come up with something better. Wasn't the world always changed by a small group of very determined people? Well, here the goal is to change the world of overproof rum, our magnificent 7 of overproof R, blah, 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 blah. And then I sent that link to everybody to put them in the spirit. So hopefully it works. But let's see if I get a good connection on the internet.
I'm
doesn't
Nick
work.
Niven, and I'm a StreamYard user.
I was so proud of myself.
Hey, Martin.
All right.
It's the internet. It's the Brooklyn backyard internet service.
The last 6 years, I've been live streaming consistently to YouTube.
Anyways, we don't need this. So my point is, I sent them the music and the whole trailer of the movie, The Magnificent Seven, to get those guys super motivated to do a great job. And then, I was told by marketing at the time that Magnificent Seven might be copyrighted, so we might not use that. So whatever.
Probably true.
It's okay.
Hey, Guillaume, real quick, before you continue on, somebody said it. I think it's a pretty great idea. Maybe we should do a little toast to Rocky.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll crack a bottle for that.
Yeah, let's crack a bottle for that. We'll wait.
To Rocky, who is dearly missed and was from the day of the creation of OFTD, a fervent ambassador and loyalist of this beautiful baby. To Rocky, guys.
Rocky. Love that man.
Oh.
That always OFTD always sets up the inner dog in me as well. Sometimes I just howl at the moon all night.
Look, hey guys, we were pretty organized. Look at this. We had a timeline, right? So in May, share with us, the description of the proof and taste profile, so that we wanted to put all the minds together. And we say it's an interesting exercise, because if whatever you want to put down as your wish list on what you want, we'll find some ways to have an agreement. So that was really looking for the roadmap. And then in June, the whole idea was for Alexandre and the team in Cognac to come back with some drawing board options and already start on some kind of, what they call in France, maquette, like a model. And July was our first meeting at Terres de Cocktail. And that's when we wanted to get together and meet and try to define a blend together. And frankly, when we decided to do this, I don't know if any of you ever did that before, but I had never done this before. I had no idea where we were going or if we were going to make it happen, because it's a lot of people, but we made it happen. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing, right? But this is the first meeting. Remember? You guys remember this?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have no recollection of that, but yes. I blame sales.
So we booked a room at Arnaud's, right? And the guys at Arnaud's like, why do you want to book a room in the middle of the afternoon and not eat anything? Well, that's because we want to taste some products, but we don't want to, hurt or damage our palate, because we want to taste the blend. But what are you doing with all these guys? It's like, we can't tell you, it's confidential. And this guy is like, well, we need to know what you want to do in that room. It's like, okay. We are some friends together that want to taste some rum and maybe blend some rum together, but you cannot say anything about this, because frankly, that was like a big thing. And this was, remember guys, what Alexandre smuggled?
Mm.
Those are the questions that we all ask each other. What is an overproof rum? What proof should it be? What taste profile? What rums should be in it? How old? For what applications? Those are all the different blending elements that Alexandre brought. He also got some little, what do you call that in English, Alexandre? Those little pipette.
Oh, yeah.
You can call it that.
Pipette. Yes. And then we had some examples of what was done in the past, some blends that we did, and Martin and Jeff were, that was so nice of them to sell some of the prized elements of their collection, at cost, so that we could really take a look into what was done back in the 1930s and 1940s. Do it right, which means like analyzing it, but also like do a GC analysis, but also a sensory analysis, and come back with elements that would make sense for that first session. Anybody has some recollection of what happened there? Or
I remember something specifically. I remember it was a very hot and sweaty day.
Yeah.
I've been very nervous about this project, working alongside of all you guys who are all my idols, and I was very happy to be part of this project, but also very nervous. So I'm sitting at the table looking at all these rums that I've only looked at pictures of that we're about to try, which is the photo you just showed. And I'm getting more sweaty even though there's air conditioning. And Mr. Wondrich shows up about 10 minutes late with a bottle of Sazerac, and he gives us all laybacks out of the bottle. And that's how the whole thing started, right after that. And then you sat down and we all just started to go to work. We cut the tension right away, Layback from the bottle, Mr. Wondrich.
You're in New Orleans,
Yeah.
You gotta
I do sometimes wonder how much of being in New Orleans at that time shaped the project, because that city has such a relentless rhythm, and of course Tales is so full on, and the energy levels in a room were so hyped, and of course our palates were probably quite jaded. What New Orleans and Tales that day. I'm sure that the sort of spirit of New Orleans sort of infused how we approached that. I certainly like to think so.
Well, it's funny you mentioned palates being jaded, because mine definitely was. But we were tasting some blends that Alexander and his team had put together, which really sparked the main, as I recall, and it's been 5 years and a lot of bottles under the bridge. But as I recall, the main debate that went on was what the application for the rum should be, because when we entered the room, I thought, like every other person who had an interest in a tiki bar, that it should be something for like really high octane punches like zombies and Navy Grogs and all that. But when I tasted the first few blends, I thought, well, this is a sipper. Why can't a sipper be 120, 130 proof the way a lot of whiskeys are, the way even some gins are? And it was too, for me, it was too good to mix, really. And that's what started this back and forth, because we had all these tiki guys there saying, well, no, that's not, it may be too good to mix, but we have to have something that we can mix, because there needs to be a practical application for this. Otherwise, why are we here? And that, to me, was the most interesting part of the day, aside from the actual tasting, of course, and the wonderful aroma emanating from Scotty next to me.
We played it back to you.
But I don't know. Does anybody else remember that whole thing about? I mean, Paul, I remember you were pretty vocal about, no, I need something I can mix with, and I believe Martin was as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing. Like, obviously, like, lucky enough to be involved in it and everything, but also being able to shape a rum that was not just heat. Like, I think when you taste some of these other overproof rums that are in that 140, 150 proof realm, like they're just bringing heat. They're not bringing any character at all. So yeah, I think it turned out really great, because it does stand up on its own, but also you want to be able to sell cases of this stuff.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to put it in your zombies and put it in your cocktails and stuff like that too. So.
No, I know. I wanted to be able to make punches with it, like big bowls of punch. And I was kind of for having it be a little lower in proof than a 151, because I found those just always tend to be really thin for me, because there's just so much alcohol. There's not enough room for like other stuff to give it some body. So I think I was the one who suggested we do it at 20 degrees overproof English, just so we could say that it's an old proof. But it was, I don't know if they ever made anything at 20 degrees overproof, but it comes out at 138, which is close enough to 151 that you could still light it on fire and float it and all that. But it gave it I think it helped get us a little room for body in there, which is what we were arguing about. Yeah.
This is exactly how we decided on that 69. That's very true.
It's funny just to jump in on this.
Well, maybe proof, but a different one.
To jump in on this, it's funny because I've been working with, different master blenders and master distillers, and usually one-on-one. And Dave and I had a few babies together.
Okay. Let's be very clear here.
How does that work exactly, Alexander?
I'm trying to speak English, you know. How does that come
When two
out?
men love a bottle of rum very, very much.
Exactly. And then, you know, like Stiggins and Guillaume, you've seen Guillaume. I mean, Guillaume keeps me organized, right? And Guillaume, I want to say, Guillaume, he's really the godfather of this project that you've seen. And I guess we're all fathers. And I actually sit at the table right now, you see in the background, where we had that baby together, you know, and where we worked when we were all in France. So, but what was funny is Guillaume said, you know, you always work one-on-one and you love to share knowledge with different people. How about a team? I'm like, okay. And then, you know, we started and he says, you know, I really think we should, and I mean, you guys are all friends for a long, long time. So I'm like, but I know you're all like so opinionated about what you love. And I'm kind of that guy as well, right? And I'm like, okay, that's going to be interesting. And remember that discussion about the proof that lasted. And I think it's, you know, everybody had a thing. And I remember David bringing in what you just said. And I was like, all right, it's going to go ahead. And then I remember bringing back then, because you put all these ideas in my head. I worked here with the team and we prepared these blends that I had to smuggle. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but to smuggle to New Orleans, you know, and imagine the little French redneck going through customs and saying, you know, nothing to declare. And I literally had like metal cakes with inside. I figured it wouldn't, you know, through the x-ray, it wouldn't show too much. And I had like all these different Zin little bottles in that so we could sit together. That was really exciting to show you these first blends, you know, that I had to work with. And then, you know, looking forward for the trip back to France. So that was kind of, I thought that was really exciting. But I was nervous like everybody.